What's up, my kings, queens, and trolls of YouTube? This is your girl, Queen C, and I have had a weekend, okay? Let me tell y'all something. The weekend was rough, and y'all know usually Mondays for people are rough too because we're adjusting back to the week. So basically, I realized this morning I ain't have no water left at home and a couple other things I needed. So I said, let me go ahead and drop my youngest off at school. And me and my oldest, we went to the grocery store before we had to be to our destinations. So now, before I get into this story, I'm going to give y'all a backstory because I'm sure I shared this with y'all because I tell y'all everything. So anyway, I remember telling you guys at one point, my daughter, she was in the coming out of the cafeteria, and chaos was like going on outside in the hallway. And my daughter, she's the smallest person in her class, the shortest, the skinniest. She's very, quiet, honor roll student, listens, doesn't give anybody any problems. So because of the chaos, my daughter does not like to get in trouble, and she don't want to be a part of nobody's circus. So when she saw the chaos, she went to go ask the nearest adult like what was going on. So it was her lunch aide, and he's a male lunch aide, by the way. So she says to him, she says, excuse me, Mr. Such and Such, what's going on? So his response was to turn around, go like that to her, and tell her to shut up and walk away. So my daughter comes home and tells me this, and because, I like to make sure before I make a phone call what's going on, I had my daughter tell me the story a couple times just so I can understand and make sure that he wasn't playing. And what the details were, because if he was playing, I would have called the school, I would have had a conversation with him and told him, okay, well, if you play with my daughter, keep your hands to yourself. But I needed to know whether he was trying to hurt my daughter or if he was joking around. So either way, long story short, he changed the story so many times. He lied, he didn't do it, he doesn't remember doing it, and all this other kind of crap. So that really pissed me off. Me and her father, we went up to the school, we did everything we needed to do for him to be reprimanded with the school. That was that. But now y'all know that these schools, unless you push and advocate, they will give these people a slap on the wrist. This guy, he is the weirdest looking fucker I've ever seen in my life. He doesn't even look fit to be around children. Now, mind you, the other kids in school were saying he was banging on the desk and yelling at them and always threatening them and all this other kind of craziness. So he had already had some issues. So why he's still working there, I don't know, aside from the union. So either way, that was that. So we go in the grocery store, I get all my little stuff, and then I go to get in line. My daughter is behind me. So I'm putting my stuff up on the belt, and as I'm turning, talking to my daughter, guess who I see walk by? You guessed it, the damn lunch aide. So he walks by, and I tell my daughter, I said, that's the guy that hit your sister. So she turns around and looks at him, and I know he heard me because he walked right past us. So then he turned around, he looks. So then this bastard, he decides that he wants to come and get in line behind us. Now I know he knows who I am because I'm up at my daughter's school at least twice a day to drop her off, to pick her up, and sometimes in between because she be forgetting stuff. So either way, I know he knows who I am. Unless he puts his hands on a lot of people's children, I know he knows who I am. So he's standing there and he's looking at me, and to be honest with y'all, I didn't like the way he was looking at me. So I said, okay. After I was done putting my stuff up on the conveyor belt, I said to my daughter, I said, excuse me, and there was another man standing there. So I said, excuse me, kind of get, excuse me, sir. And I go up to him and I said, so, I said, I finally see you somewhere outside of the school. And he was like, huh? I said, you know who the hell I am. I said, I'm the mother of the child who you hit. You know very well who I am, and why you would come and stand in line behind me and my daughter, I have no idea. I said, but I'm glad to see you because I want to let you know what I couldn't let you know while we was in that meeting. You better not ever put your fucking hands on my daughter again. And I said, matter of fact, you better not say nothing to her, and you better not even look at her. I said, if my daughter ever tells me that she has a problem with you, you gonna have problems with me. I said, because you know damn good and well you ain't have no business putting your hands on somebody else's child, especially a little girl. So he was like, you don't gotta disrespect me. I said, shut the fuck up. Yes, I do gotta disrespect you because you disrespected my 10-year-old daughter, you disrespected me, and you disrespected my husband by putting your hands on my child. I said, that's what you like to do? You like to put your hands on little girls? I said, but I bet you won't put your hands on no grown woman, will you? So now he wants to look down, look around, look down, and look around. And I said, and you got the nerve to come up behind me in line and think that you're going to look at me. I don't know if you thought you was going to intimidate me or what the case may be. I said, but just to let you know, I'm not scared, and you should be careful about who you put your hands on because you don't never know who you're going to run into outside of that school, okay? And I said, and I know you hear me, and I know you understand me. You can look down at your feet, click them 3 times, and wish you was home. I don't give a fuck. I know you hear me. So then my daughter is in the background. She was like, like, yeah, I know you heard what she said. You better not put your hands on my sister no more. So then after that, you know, the man that was standing there, he kind of like got in, you know, in the middle as if he was getting in line, but I guess he was like, you know, just trying to separate us. And I said, I'm not gonna say nothing else to you, but you better not ever, like I said, put your hands on my daughter. Don't look at her, don't talk to her, don't nothing. My daughter better not ever for the rest of the school year come home and tell me you did a damn thing to her, or you gonna have some problems. So then I went ahead and I paid for my stuff. But I'm sharing this with you guys because, you know, a lot of times in our areas, these schools, some of the people that they hire stereotype us, and they think they can get away with doing things to our children. They think they can get away with talking to them any old type of way. They think they can get away with putting their hands on them. They think that they can get away with just whatever. And you have to use your voice and you have to advocate, because if you do not fight, and if you do not go to the highest of the highest of the highest, these people will go unreprimanded for doing things they don't have no business doing to your child, for saying things they don't have no business saying to your child. Like, for example, you know, I had to keep, the school didn't even want to give me an incident report. I had to fight to get an incident report because this bastard put his hands on my child. This weird fuck put his hands on my child, but here I have to fight to get an incident report just to be able to take care of what I needed to take care of for the incident. So I'm telling y'all, if somebody in the school does something to your child, get on it right away. Get on top of it right away, because I'm telling you, the unions, they protect people like this. They don't have to answer sometimes. They get away with lying. They get away with doing a whole bunch of shit, and they're protected by the union. So take every necessary step you have to take, and then if it's not working for you within the school district, especially if it's a situation where somebody put their hands on your child, you go to your local police department where that school is at and you press charges. You don't let nobody get away with doing stuff to your children, because again, if you let somebody do something to your child and you don't advocate for your child is going to feel like you failed them. My daughter, my little girl, she knows beyond a shadow of a doubt her mom ain't taking no shit when it comes to her. She knows I will advocate for her. She knows, y'all. She knows without me saying it. She knows I don't play. But it's too many people that, you know, like sleep on the situation. And then what they count on is they count on us going up to the school and acting like savages so that they can dismiss whatever it is we're saying. See, I know how to act when it comes to professional environments, but when I seen that bastard out on the streets, when I seen him out on the streets, and I had to let him know out on the streets, don't fuck with my daughter. Don't put your hands on my child. I had to let him know on that level of the world, don't mess with my child. The professional thing, that was cool for what I needed to take care of, but outside in the Acme, I had to let him know, Queen C style, don't put your hands on my damn child no more. And I'm so glad that I was able to keep my composure and say what I had to say and get through paying for my stuff, because I felt like slapping the shit out of him. I really felt like slapping the shit out of him. Not punching him because he looked like too much of a punk for me to punch. He deserved a bitch smack. That's what he deserved. But I didn't put my hands on nobody. I just let him know, and I kept it moving. But y'all, advocate for your kids. I just had to share that with y'all. If you want to email me, you can email me at queenchrisshonda@gmail.com. Like me on Facebook at the Queen C-Hive. Follow me on Snapchat, Instagram, and Twitter at Queen Chrishonda. And most importantly, do not forget to subscribe. Peace, y'all.